Welcome back to the Blender 3 Docwalk. This document is contextual views. So let's jump right in. Alright, so the 3D viewport can have multiple contextual view modes, and I'm going to just do something. Well, I'm just going to set a few things out here. So Shift A to bring up my add menu, and I'm going to drop down a plane, because planes are always nifty. And we'll drop a sphere in there. Stick it right next to the cube. Size it up a bit, and let's do a cone. We haven't done a cone yet, I don't think. And we'll put it right there. Alright, so we've got a little bit of a landscape here. So the contextual view mode we are going to be talking about is the quad view. If we go up to view, down to area, there, very bottom, and toggle quad view. You can see the shortcut is Control-Alt-Q. So again, I'm just going to use the shortcut and Control-Alt-Q. And then we get this nifty quad view where three of the views are from a specific orthographic view. So we've got top orthographic, and you can see right here in the upper left corner of each view it tells you what it is. So top orthographic, front orthographic, and right orthographic. And then the final view is the user's perspective view. Now each of these views, or I should say these three, right, the top, front, and right, you can zoom and you can pan, but you cannot rotate it. So if I try to rotate it, well, the only thing that's rotating is my user perspective. Okay, so yep, zoom, pan, zoom, pan. Now the only view you can rotate is your user perspective view, which, right, you can zoom, pan, and rotate. Now it's important to note that these are not separate editors or separate areas. It's not the same thing as if I were to come over here and create a new crud monkeys. Sorry about that. I had to quickly undestroy everything I just destroyed. Okay, so it's not the same as coming over here, right-clicking, and doing like a vertical split, right? And now I've got a crap ton, but you can see here. Let me turn off quad view real quick. Okay, so here I've got two completely separate 3D viewports, right? Two totally separate editors. So I can work with one, and what I do here, obviously it would affect what I do over here, but you know, my view is independent, right? So that's not what's happening here. See this line here in the middle that I can kind of move back and forth? It's not the same thing as the lines we have, or the separators in quad view. Quad view is a specific mode for the 3D viewport. So I'm going to quickly get rid of that, and we're going to go back into view, or back into quad mode, which is Control-Alt-Q. Okay, and see these separators, I can't even get my double arrow mouse icon to even change the size of each of these views. So yeah, so even though we've got our compass gizmo up in the corner, and all that stuff, you'll notice that it is the same view because we only have one editor selector drop down here. So if I change this to something else, the entire view, right, the entire editor would be replaced with whatever I changed it to. Okay, so there are a few options that you can use with the quad view. So if I bring up my sidebar by tapping N, and I go to view, and then down to quad view, I have three selectable options here. The first one is lock rotation. If I unselect lock rotation, I will then be able to rotate my views in these three view areas. So Alt rotate. Now I can rotate it. Okay, but let's turn lock rotation back on. The next one is sync zoom pan. Now you'll notice that, actually really quickly, you'll notice that if I turn lock rotation off, sync zoom pan becomes muted. Okay, it won't do anything if I turn it on. So, well, I can't turn it on. Okay, so I'm going to turn lock rotation on. Now sync zoom pan is selectable, so I'm going to turn that on. And what that does is it syncs the zoom and pan of each of the viewports except for the user perspective. So if I come over here in my top view and just pan around or zoom in, it does the same thing in the other view areas. And lastly, we've got clip contents, and again, just like sync zoom pan, clip contents requires, well, just like sync zoom pan requires lock rotation to be on, clip contents requires sync zoom pan to be on. And what clip contents does, this is actually kind of a cool little effect. If I begin to move any one of these kind of outside, you see this gray boundary line that has appeared. Watch again. I'll turn it off, and you'll see that when I turn it on, in fact, let's kind of zoom out a little bit so you can see it more distinctly. I'm going to turn it on, and this kind of this light gray shaded area comes in, right? So as I move around and zoom in, you'll notice that, watch, see how I'm moving this way, but it's moving this to the left, right? So as I move more this way, you'll notice that this will begin to be kind of cut into. So it's being clipped. So here we go, and here comes the clipping, clip, and we go all the way through. Okay, so and that clipping will happen in whichever viewport. You know, if I start to bring this up, nope. Okay, so it appears that clipping does not occur in our top orthographic view. So we only get clipping in the front and right view. So let's really quickly clip this guy. So we're going to clip this one, and we will see the front view begin to clip from the front and back to the back. Likewise, if we go the other way, it starts from the back and comes in towards the front. And this one, if we bring it one way, we will begin to see clipping in the right orthographic view. We'll move from right to the left, and likewise, if we do it this way, we will see the clipping begin at the left and come forward towards us, towards the right end in the right orthographic view. But it doesn't appear that that clipping in that sense occurs in the top orthographic view. If we can move up all we want, and it doesn't appear to do any sort of clipping. Same as if we move down as much as we want, it doesn't appear to do any clipping of the same sort in top orthographic view, which I found kind of interesting. Okay, so that is that. There is one more thing I wanted to show you here. It's not mentioned in the documentation, but I found it to be kind of interesting. If you have your emulate the third mouse button selected, right, holding Alt down and left clicking like this will rotate your view. But because these do not rotate, you know, I'm not worried about that. But what I found interesting is as I do it in these frames, it affects my my user perspective view up here. So see, just maybe any sustained movement in any one direction that's so so this is very similar to I forget what it's called. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but anyway, All right, so that was the contextual views document, and I will see you guys next time as we talk about the 3D cursor. Again, thank you for watching. I deeply appreciate everybody's interest in these videos. Please like, subscribe, and share it with anybody you think might be interested. See you soon.